Today we have Dior. We also have no jewelry, no dressing up. It's in the 90s in Boston. If you haven't watched me before, I do not do well in heat. So in the summer months, a lot less jewelry, a lot less cute clothes. I just cannot be bothered when it gets above 85. Just the way it is. But we've got a lot of great makeup. In fact, I'm gonna have a couple more videos probably than I usually have, because I got so much all at once. So let's talk about what we're doing with Dior today. I have two new blushes. I have the Lady Dior, which is a holographic, and then I have the Dior and Rose, which was written as natural finish on the site, but it says shimmer on the packaging. We'll get into it when we try it. I don't think it's a shimmer. I think it's natural. There's no shimmer in this blush. I'll show it to you on my hand. But it does say shimmer on the packaging. So it may be like the greige situation where the greige blush, it says greige online, but when you get it, it says sillage. So maybe that's what it is. And I am asking around about that one to see if we can figure out what that is. And then this is the Lady Dior, which is holographic, which I agree, it does have that kind of finish. Although on my hand, and I have pictures up hopefully on Instagram, there are sparkles in here. You can see them. I'm gonna move my hand a little bit, see if the camera picks it up. But it's not drastic. It's not like overwhelming. We're gonna see how it looks on the face, but I think we'll have to try the formula, but I think it is better than the holographic from before. Then we have the Bal Masque, Masque, M-A-S-Q-U-E. This is 503, one of the two new quints that came out. I did not buy the other one. The other one is a rose one, and rose shades they're like pinky shades, aren't really my thing. So I did not get that one. And then I got two of the Dior Addict lipsticks. One is new, it's 423 Romance, and the other one is 717, and I feel like it's new because I don't remember picking that, like seeing it. And I love brown shades. If I had seen this, I would have noticed it and I would have bought it. So this is the 423, I'm gonna make sure I got it right, 423 Romance, which is a new shade. It's a great, the minute I saw it, I was like, yep, I'm gonna like that one. And then this is the 717 Patchwork. Beautiful for fall. I mean, you can wear it anytime, but it reminds me of the fall shades. Okay, so again, here is the D and Rose, which is, I think, a natural finish, but it says shimmer. Here is the Lady Dior, which is holographic. Here's Romance, here's Patchwork, and there is the quint. How is everyone? Let me pull my hair back. The other reason that I'm not getting really dressed up or doing jewelry and stuff is that Harper, I mentioned in a couple of videos that he wasn't doing well. We thought we had pancreatitis again. Turns out it's not pancreatitis. Turns out it's likely to be a disc problem, which is not great because it's much harder to treat. We've got him on pain medication and muscle relaxers and steroids for like 2 weeks. We're gonna see how that goes, and then if that goes well, great. If it doesn't, I'm gonna talk to neurology. So yes, it's been a bunch of very late nights, and to be very honest with all of you, which I always try to be, I'm just tired. You know how it is when your animal is sick. It just it's very difficult because they can't tell you what's wrong, and you just feel, or at least I feel, terrible about it. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the blushes first. Just to mention, I do have on the Westman Atelier Peau de Pêche underneath, and then the Chanel BR12. And I have to say, guys, I do like it. I feel like there is a luminescence to my skin. It does make my skin look lighter. And I think it's actually, like, in person, I don't think it looks lighter. I think it's the bounce back from the lights on the illumination of the illuminator. I think that's what it is. So it does brighten your skin. I mean, you can just see it. My skin looks lighter than it usually does when I put on BR12. So I thought that was interesting. All right, so let's try the Dior and Rose. I'm going to use Sonia G. This is the soft cheek brush. And like I said, it said natural finish. I think this is a natural finish. I really don't see any shimmer here. But, you know, it does say shimmer on the packaging. So I don't know is what I have to tell you. Dior has made packaging errors before. Looking in my 10X mirror, I don't see any shimmer. Looks like a natural finish to me, right? I think that's a natural finish. Yeah, I don't see any shimmer there, guys. And there wasn't any on the swatch in my hand. Now this one, the holographic one, it absolutely does. Using the same brush, I'm gonna go in just kind of lightly here, because this one's a little bit more pigmented. And I'm gonna kind of do this one like a contour a little bit. And I'll put it over here to, you know, even things out later. But I think this is gonna be, yeah, it's a very pretty shade. This one is gonna be great for deeper skin tones. And it's got like a, sort of almost like raspberry kind of shade to it. You saw it on my hand. It's beautiful. Like, it's a stunning shade. I have to be careful with it just because I'm so pale, but this is gonna like easily work on multiple people. I mean, I barely touched this. So if you're looking for one of the deeper blushes from Dior, I think this one would work for you. Now, if you're pale like me or somewhat pale like me, not as pale, again, I think this works. You can do this. I just think, you know, I had to go in kind of lightly with it, and you can see it's already, I mean, it's very light, but, you know, still shows up because I'm such a pale person. I haven't been in the sun in a very long time. I got second-degree burns on my back when I was 12 from building sandcastles without any SPF on my back. And after that experience, I basically just never went in the sun again. Like, ever. I'm going to take a little bit more of the, is it the D and Rose? Yeah. Dior and Rose, sorry. Dior and Rose. I'm just putting a little bit like there on the nose. So you can see the shade, and you saw, you know, before when I put both on. The Lady Dior is a much deeper, more raspberry shade. It definitely does have some sparkle to it. You can see it on the face, but it's slight. It's not drastic. It's much nicer than the holographic that I had before, which I think was called Hologram. 792 is the Lady Dior holographic. It's really very pretty. And then the Dior and Rose, again, I don't see any shimmer in there. I see, it looks natural to me, but what I would say is that the Lady Dior is a much deeper shade. So if you're looking for something that has like a deeper, I think that's the way to go. And then if you're looking for something that has more just a rose, then the Dior and Rose is a good way to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is the smooth buffer brush. I'm just buffing it into my skin a little bit. That will diffuse it a bit. And as I did in my other videos, I've been using the sheer buffer from Sonia G. It's a great brush, guys. If you're looking for, you know, something that works really well with cream, it's an excellent brush. Okay. Yeah, the quality's there. The finish is beautiful. Went on great, no problems. I'm going to use the Romance on my lips so that you can see the new shade. I'm not sure if Patchwork is a new shade, but I hadn't seen it before. It was new to me. I think Romance could be described as like a dusty pink. Really nice shade. Really easy to use, like kind of an everyday shade. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Okay. Let's go to the eyeshadow. Now you saw the swatches that I did. This shade here doesn't look like it really shows up. So we'll see how it works on the eye, but it did look like pretty non-existent. I'm going to take the middle shade and use that kind of as the transition here. See how that goes. It looks to be a very neutral quint. I'd say some similarities to Soft Cashmere and the 100 Stella dolls that I just did a video on. Similar kind of color story to that. I was so impressed by the YSL formula. It's really good. And I'll say it again, do you have those shades? More than likely you do. If you have any sizable collection, you do. But the formula was really good. And I'm not one to be impressed easily at this point. It takes quite a bit, because my collection is so large. Then we're gonna take this shade here and like sort of deepen up out here just a little bit. Those two shades are fairly similar. I think this one is a little more satiny. Okay. Let's take the lightest shade. Like I said, it's like, it doesn't show up when you saw it on my arm. I don't know if you could even see it. It's like a super light. Yeah, it's super light. It's basically, it's kind of like the color of my skin. So it actually is working very well as a brow shade. And I think it'll work, I'll kind of put it in the inner corner here. I think it's gonna be like a good lightener, yeah, for the inner corner. On somebody with a deeper skin tone, this will be more of a contrast and I think will be quite beautiful. But on somebody who's pale, it's gonna blend in, but you can see the lightness. It's actually nice. It doesn't swatch really well because you can't see it. But on the eye, it's actually pretty. All right, I'm just gonna blend a little up here. Okay. All right, now let's take this shimmery shade and I wanna use one of my Kolinsky brushes for this. Yeah, it's a very similar look to Stella dolls from YSL. Very similar. In fact, I'll get Stella dolls out in a second and we'll compare swatches because there's a distinct resemblance. All right, I'm gonna take the deepest shade, the deep brown here, and I'm gonna just keep this on the outside. I'm not gonna run it into the crease. And I'm gonna use it as liner as well, but all right. Now I'm gonna use that as liner. Okay. Take a little bit on the top. A little bit of that brown. All right, let me put some mascara on. We'll be right back. All right, back with some mascara on. So here is the new Dior Bal Masque or Masque. And here is Stella Dolls. Very similar. And very similar on the arm. Not exact, but on the eye, they're gonna look very close. The difference between the two really is that in the YSL, this shade here, you can get a much more like a wetter look than you get with the Dior, but the overall look is eerily similar. I mean, it's very close. Very, very close to the Stella dolls. So if you can't get the Stella dolls or don't want to wait for it, it should be here soon. I don't know, end of July, maybe August. The Dior is available. The Dior formula is not bad. It's a good formula. I just feel like the YSL is a little bit better, a little bit like wetter, smoother, but they're very close. Very close in the way that they look. Blushes, both beautiful. If you're looking for a deeper, a little bit more sparkly, I would go with the Lady Dior. If you're looking for a more natural finish, I know it says shimmer on the box, on the packaging, but seems natural to me. The Dior and Rose is very pretty, like a rosy shade, like the name implies. Romance is a great, great neutral. It's like a dusty rose. It's really pretty. I think will be lovely for the rest of the summer. So loving all the products, new products from Dior. I still have to figure out whether I want to get the Westman Atelier Illuminator. I really do like the way my face is looking with it, so I'm thinking maybe yes. It's just, I have to do my makeup without it and then see how it looks, and then do it with it again and see how it looks. So, but anyway, I do think I like it. It's just a question of how much. So I'm interested in hearing what you think about the new Dior products. If you've tried any of the new blushes or the new eyeshadows. Like I said, I really do like this one. I think it's a very cool neutral. It's very much like Stella Dolls. It has a very similar vibe to it. It's very pretty. Certainly something that I will use often, but I will say that if you have Stella Dolls, you don't need the Bal Masque. And if you get the Bal Masque, I don't think you need the Stella Dolls. Just my take. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon.